Hey, what's up, everybody? We are just talking buckets. I'm Nick,
Mikey.
and we are back today. It's Sunday, and it's another great day of NBA action. As you can see, our predicted right, predicted wrong game record is improving every time. We are 22 and 12 over the weekend. That is a pretty good, that's 647 average winning right there. And
Hey,
yes,
Alex BK, I don't want to talk about that, bro.
oh, man, we are ready for it, dude. I'm so mad at my Lakers, but that's okay. It's early. I want them to win so bad, and when they don't, I just get upset. So I honestly hope for a good game. That's all I care about, right? As long as they play well. Wow, we can talk about that last Lakers game, but how good do the Grizzlies look?
Yeah, they look scary. Melton and Bane, if they're playing well, they're going to be just hard to beat, bro, because everyone else is going to be consistent. You know what you're getting from Ja, Jaren, and Steve. And,
They look
and
so
then,
good.
yeah, they look nice, but tonight they are not supposed to look nice. We'll see how the game goes, but
Like
the Lakers need one. The Lakers
back to
need one, man.
back, it's gonna be tough one because they're so young and it's so early. It's not like they're tired yet. They're not gonna be tired, but we're excited to watch that as soon as our stream is over. Lots to talk about. Over the weekend, we went one, two. We only lost three, four. We lost 5 predictions over the weekend, and there were at least 12 games. So we definitely improved our record. Let's see how we do. If you're new to the stream, what we want all of our new viewers to join in the conversation. We want you to tell us who's your favorite team, who is your favorite player, and just to make it interesting, who is your favorite, or who do you think is the GOAT? Who is the best player of all time? Obviously, Mikey and I are Laker fans. Mikey, who's your favorite player?
Favorite, or who do I think is the GOAT?
Well, favorite first. Let's go favorite first.
Current or all time? All time, huh?
Yeah, I guess we can go current. Let's go current favorite player because they want to be kind of relevant, right? So yeah, who's your
Yeah.
current favorite player?
My current favorite player. Oof.
How hot? I mean,
It's tough. Probably Lamelo Ball is top 3 in terms of just favorite. I also like. Yeah, I'd have to think about that. It's a tough question. Just a fan of players. I don't know. What about you? Who's your favorite right now?
my favorite
Current.
player right now to watch is it's still LeBron James. I mean, I'm over hating on him. He's playing for my team. Uh, I think my favorite player right now is LeBron James. So easy answer for me.
Yeah.
And of
Yeah.
course, I think the greatest player of all time is Kobe Bryant. That's
Yeah.
not really something I'm wanting to, give up right now. And I think it's hard to argue that he's not in the conversation.
Oh, he's for sure in the combo. Yeah, I think he's my personal favorite of all time.
Yeah.
But current is tough because I would have to look at all the teams because I know Paul George was one of my favorite. He might still be one of them.
Hmm.
I just think he's disrespected, especially recently.
Yeah. Let's get into our simulations because we've got a couple to do. Starting with Nets hosting the Hornets. Current favorite player Trey Young in the chat, and then favorite player Eric Tracy McGrady. That's a good choice. Tracy McGrady was fun.
You know what Kobe said about Tracy McGrady? He said he was pretty much like the hardest, like the most talented player that he's played. He said he was just like a longer version of himself.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's true. T Mac was nuts.
Yep. Alrighty, we're jumping into our commentary here, and a lot to talk about with the Nets because didn't they lose today as we start our simulation?
Yeah, they did lose to the Hornets. Speaking of LaMelo Ball, LaMelo's looking real nice this year.
Hornets are 3 and
Uh,
0. What a start for them.
Yeah, yeah. I love their team. I really do. I think only thing they're missing is real solid big man. I think they got Mason Plumlee as their best big
Hmm.
at the moment. I, correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but yeah, they're just looking nice. Terry Rozier hasn't even been playing. He's played one game, like 25 minutes, but he's been injured. So
And here it's looking like the Nets are going to easily win this simulation, so we're probably not going to win this one. I'm already updating it for us to take the L as they're up pretty much by 30 in the fourth quarter. What happened in this game in real life?
um, I think it was close, pretty much. I didn't watch the whole thing. I'll look at the quarter breakdown. I'll just pull it up on ESPN. I
Yeah.
think,
As the Nets take our simulation 125-93, but that's a loss for us. We know that the Hornets shocked a lot of people and went 3-0. So
yeah, pretty much tied going into the fourth, and then the Hornets just outscored them by 15 in the fourth.
yeah.
So
Next, we're
good
going
game.
over to the Houston Rockets, Boston Celtics. Have they finished their game yet?
Yes,
Who won that one?
the Celtics won by 10.
Okay. Yeah,
Good
they
for
shouldn't
them.
they shouldn't lose to the Rockets even in their home court. I'm hearing some back and forth. Is that from yours? I think I hear a little echo. Can you turn me down on your headphones just a tad bit?
Yeah.
I think it's just that. That's all it is. And it looks like the Celtics in our simulation are doing the same thing. It's they're only up 10 at halftime, 7 ish. So we'll see who's the we'll talk a little bit more about this game as we go, taking some timeouts. But nice job for the Celtics, uh, picking up the W, giving us another victory today, moving our record to 23-13. We got 10 more wins than losses, which is
Yeah,
excellent for us.
don't get too sad, LXBK. The Lakers were beating the Warriors pretty much the whole game,
Yeah.
and then 10-point lead going into the fourth. It's
Honestly,
just
though, I can't wait to talk about this. Maybe we sim. You want to watch the Lakers Grizzlies tonight as our game of the night, our sim?
yeah, we probably should.
We probably
Yeah,
should,
I want to.
because there's a lot
I
to
want
talk
to. Yeah.
about. Let's talk about it as we get into it. Moving to New York Magic, I thought I saw that New York had won this one. Is that true?
No, the Magic won this one.
Magic won
Yeah,
this one.
by 6. I was shocked as well.
Oh my goodness, that's a tough one. Didn't they play back to back or something? I thought they played each other once and then they're playing each other again.
That might have been preseason. I don't remember
Okay.
them playing each
Maybe
other,
the Magic were
but
playing someone else. Right now, the Lakers are up 41-30 on Memphis.
Cole Anthony had 29 points. That's kind of random. 29 and 16 rebounds for Cole Anthony. What in the world is that?
It's the
That's
NBA.
wild.
You're going to have these types of games. Right now, the Knicks are leading in the third of our simulation. This one might look like a loss for us. Hard to predict the home and away. Although it's a close one, I'm tempted to stop it and jump in, but unfortunately, we don't necessarily have the time. If this was a more of an influential matchup for us, yeah, the Knicks end up taking this one by a lot, giving us our second loss of the night.
Julius
Dang.
Randle's looking like that dude this year. He is looking scary.
And he's on your fantasy team too, which is only good for you.
Yeah, he's a playmaker now. He's a rebound machine, giving you at least 25. He's just terrifying. I
Yeah.
love it.
Moving on to
Former
Sixers
Laker.
Thunder. How did the Sixers do? I'm super interested. Did they win the game that they should have won tonight against the Thunder as we start their simulation?
Yes, Sixers won by 12, 115, 103.
Okay.
Seth Curry, 28.
Nice.
Shea, 29.
Dang. I wish
Shea's
Shea. Oh, man, we should have traded for Shea. I know Oklahoma City's never going to get rid of him, but he's
yeah,
a baller.
he's been having a slow week. I'm playing against him in fantasy,
Okay.
and he hasn't scored that well fantasy wise. But I think it's just because I don't know. I think
They've got to
OKC
be
is
just double teaming him because who does he have to worry about?
Yeah, but I feel like OKC is just like trying to get in the lottery, like high lottery picks every year.
This one looks like
At
the
this point,
Sixers also win. Yeah, they might be tanking. They've got a lot of time on their hands, and at the end of the day, we kind of knew this was going to be that kind of a season for OKC. Just nothing going their way as they take the big loss in 2K as well as in real life. Let's go over to the Kings and the Warriors. Are they still playing? What's the update on that game
Kings
as we start
Warriors.
our
Yes,
simulation? This should be a good
they
game.
are. They're still playing halftime, 62-60. Kings are up. The
Man,
Kings
that's
look nice this year, dude.
they do. They do. This could be a great year for the Kings, especially if teams are dropping a little bit, like the Thunder. We'll see about the Timberwolves, but I think me and you are secretly, even though Lakers Kings are supposed to have this rivalry, I think we're kind of rooting for the Kings to be there to make it interesting. To have that rivalry, I think is such a fun thing. If you have three California
Yeah.
teams, not even including the Clippers, if you have four California teams that are really good, come on, that's great basketball. That is what we want to see out west. I think at
What?
least.
Well, and the Kings are just like they're just a fun franchise when they're good.
Yeah,
Like you think of all their good past teams, and it's just like it's a fun place to have a good team. Like
yeah,
I'm kind of shocked free agents. I mean, it's a small market, but like Sacramento's a cool city.
yeah.
I think it gets
City of Trees,
overlooked.
baby. Kings are up by 9 at the end of this one, 130, as they hand the Warriors their first loss of the season. We'll see if that happens in real life. We'll let you know our
But
next stream.
Davion Mitchell, bro, 17 at the half. He's in day one in the league. He's already a clamp.
Yeah,
He's a clamp.
he's got some nice D or what?
Day one. Pause. Yeah, he's literally a clamp.
Hey, watch it, dude. I didn't say it. You did.
I didn't say it. You said that,
That's
brother.
some
You
nice,
said that, but nah.
nice
Davion Mitchell,
D.
he is he clamp. He really
Alrighty.
is.
That gives us to the only real choice of our day, the 0-2 Lakers hosting the 2-0 hot Memphis Grizzlies. We're going to see if our record can get any better. Right now, it's 24-14. We are 10 predictions higher than what we were before. I kind of know what some of our chat viewers are going to say to this one, but who do you think is going to win this simulation? I personally think the Lakers have a big advantage at home, although I know that 2K is adjusting their scores as they go. So Memphis has a real potential for an upset here. Let me know in the chat what you guys think. Who's
Yeah.
going to be the leading scorer? Let's start there for this simulation.
Who's the leading scorer?
Yeah. And I did
I
not
say
put Kings and Warriors. What's going on here? No, no, no.
I say Ja. Ja will be the leading scorer. It's hard. Like I want to predict the Lakers are gonna win. It's a little boring. I feel like that's
Yeah.
obvious.
I feel like right
No,
now
I'll go.
you look matchups. John Morant is going to have the edge over Russell Westbrook. Kent Bazemore, he's been solid, but I feel like he can play better. And then Anthony Davis and LeBron in the first game really had it cooking, and we'll see if they do well tonight as well. We're jumping in here.
Gold, you're watching 2K
Say hi to
Ja,
NBA 2K TV here.
bro,
Big TV.
Ja Morant is at 85 in 2K,
That's
and right now
disrespectful.
he's playing. Well, right now he's playing like at least a 90.
I was
And
gonna
right?
say I was gonna go 92. Honestly,
He's
I would
playing
be
like at
totally fine with 92. 100%.
like at least right now. We'll see how he sustains this level of play, but like he looks crazy this year, and most of his points come in the paint for such a small build.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild. He's not built like Russell Westbrook, not help, but like his athleticism around the rim is just kind of something we've never seen for
Right.
a guy his size.
I saw an article about John Morant and how he's kind of like Derrick Rose was, and you were saying how he's landing on some of these makes you kind of nervous that he might get hurt. As we take a look at the Western Conference, Memphis in the running at 2-0 right now. Obviously, it's early. Lakers at the bottom of the Western Conference.
Hey, I guess Reeves is bugging off the bench. I know you, Nick. So this is LXBK. Nick pauses the Laker games.
Nah, I
and
know. Hey, we're gonna get spoilers. That's fine. I just kind of want to
yeah,
watch it like as accurately as I can. So if I know what's gonna happen, it kind of like takes the stress out of it. So feel free to give us
yeah.
updates. We'll give you updates as we go.
And I love to hear that Reeves is bugging off the bench, though. I love Reeves. I was just telling Nick, dude, when Reeves came in the fourth quarter last game, he, like, we looked so much better with him on the floor. I was like, start that,
Yeah,
man. Like, kind
yeah.
of
The defense
sarcastically,
kind
but
of changed everything as the Lakers win the tip here, and that was really what they're looking for. Lakers are looking for guys who can like hustle, while Russell and the boys, while the 360 as they like to call him, figure out their offense and their chemistry and everything else. So the fact that Reeves, as LeBron gets a wide open dunk, Memphis started this game hot. No, definitely don't be sorry. It's totally chill.
yeah, it's cool. No, yeah, it's cool. I love spoilers.
Mikey was looking out for me, um, but I don't care. Like I want to do
Yeah,
the stream first, and then stream comes first, right? That's one thing I'm gonna say. Stream comes first, and then I've got it recorded, so it's not a big deal. Give us those updates as we go. John Morant's got a chance
please.
here on the break to go, but I wonder if Reeves has even got a character in on this team. I guess he will. Hopefully we see that he gets more in 2K adjust. That would be awesome. Oh,
Yeah,
also,
he's probably like 72 or something.
I have to say it. I'm gonna rerun your follow because look what happens now when people follow LX. I'm gonna call you LX. Is that cool? That is our new follow animation and sound, and I just love it. Just love
I'm
that.
listening through Discord, so I didn't hear it. But
Oh
which
my,
one was it?
it's he says, "Bring it on, Kobe baby." It's so good, dude. It's so awesome.
That's tight.
I just can't wait for our first like natural follower to push it and then hear all of our stuff. It's just too good. It's too good. Too fun.
For a new follower. Yeah, I mean, I guess that one's good. I was thinking like, what would be a good, uh, dude? That's sick. Yeah, we thought of it. We thought of it, and we were like, that'd be so funny. And for each different thing,
Maybe I'll
we have a
change it every
different
day.
like if someone, I don't know,
If
like
there's
what are the
bits
different?
or subscribes, I'm not expecting people to subscribe like that, but I guess once things get going, I really want to
Yeah,
raid because that would be cool. But like followers,
but
we'll probably rotate those, Mike, so that it's not the same sound every time. That would be cool because we have a lot of sounds to work with. It'd be kind of fun every
but yeah,
time.
we have a lot of old classic like announcer sounds. Like we have Mike Breen's "Bang," and we have "Mama, there goes that band."
I wonder if
Mark
there's a way we
Jackson.
can rotate it because that would be really fun to get like a different
Yeah.
one every time. I don't think it's like that, but maybe we can look into it. Memphis, just like in real life, has a little early lead, but LeBron's not going to let that happen, I don't think. He's right now
Yeah.
averaging 29, and most of his jump shots are going in, which is scary for the league.
Yeah,
Because
he's hitting his triples, bro. He really is hitting his threes this year.
if he can hit and Westbrook doesn't have to, like, look out. He's going to be tough.
Yeah, fact.
As LeBron is kind of running this. And he's just, nice block by Steven Adams. Man, I like Steven Adams. He's one of the guys in the league that you just kind of have to like. There's nothing, I don't think that he's ever done that's questionable that you can say is not just a class professional basketball player. Love the guy.
I want him to get into acting post
Really?
post NBA career. Can't you see him as like a Viking?
Like,
Like
well, he kind of looks like Jason Momoa already.
who's that?
Aquaman in DC.
I never saw that. But
Did you watch Game of
yeah, he does look
Thrones?
like that. Keeping 10 points more than the Grizzlies. Good. What'd you say, Nick?
Did you see Game of Thrones? Jason Momoa
No.
is like the big dude on the horse, and he's got tattoos and like the braided hair. He looks exactly like Steven Adams, but like with tattoos pretty much. But just as yoked, kind of bodybuilder type. But yeah, I could see that. That'd be cool. Who knows what he'll want to do as he goes. We need a question of the day today. What is, as you guys are in the chat, what is the most surprising thing of the NBA season so far? And what is not a surprise? So take a second to think about that. I'll bring it up in a few minutes. But what is the most surprising part of the NBA season so far? And what is the least surprising thing? I know I've got a couple good ones, Mikey. I'll give you a couple minutes to kind of think about that. But most surprising, least surprising so far. I kind of want to try to get some more questions of the day kind of rolling in the chat as we go. I think that'll be something good for us. As Anthony Davis posts up, finds Russell Westbrook at the left wing. Kent Bazemore here. No subs in the game yet, and it's all the way through the first quarter. I do not want Kent Bazemore doing this. It's like going to the basket and then getting rejected. Like, that's something that if the Lakers are doing that in real life, they're having trouble. And I've seen it happen a few times where guys just don't know what to do. Like, what is the Lakers offense?
I see that. I was so frustrated watching. I will get frustrated watching sometimes because I feel like the players you want taking shots sometimes like cowered out of taking a big shot with the shot clock running down, right?
Yeah.
Even though it's the best shot for us, they'll give it to Kent Bazemore in the corner with 5 seconds left and like tell him to create a shot, you know?
Right. As we come
Like,
to
it
the
kind
end of the first quarter, I know
It drives me
exactly
nuts,
what you
like-
mean.
at least with like swing it, like just swing the rock if you don't have a shot, swing it around and then attack. Like, I hate kind of ISO, end of the shot clock, bad shots.
All right, we're looking around the league as we come to the end of the first quarter here. Going in depth into some more of those games. The Sixers beating the Oklahoma City Thunder, no surprise, 115-103. I'm going to guess no Ben Simmons still. Doesn't look like he played any minutes. Man, what in the world is going on? No one really knows. But
Well, Ben they actually sat down. Did you hear about that?
Tell me about it.
Ben sat down with Joel and Doc Rivers and the team, I guess, and was like, they pretty much like made amends. Like, essentially, they're
So
like,
he might
we all
stay.
need. Well, that's like they said they all like apologized essentially, I guess, and we're all responsible. And then Ben was like, all right, but I'm not in a place right now where I can play.
Oh, that's right.
So
yeah,
right
I do
now-
remember that.
So right now he's conditioning, I think, and I think he's getting ready.
It's kind of mentally.
Yeah.
And you got to take that in consideration. Nowadays, like, athletes, famous people, they have a legit social media, like, if that's not I'm not gonna say complex, but like anxiety or, you know, social issues because of their celebrity status. You know, Twitter's 100% there. Instagram's always going to be there. And then now you take a 25-year-old who's making a lot of money and then put him into this situation. I see how it's tough. So I totally get it.
Yeah, and it's just like mental blocks is how people are like talking about it. It's like, yeah, it doesn't surprise me in today's day and age. Like, mental health, you know, it's a real thing. And just because you make a lot of money, like, he's a real person who goes through stuff,
Yeah.
you know. So
Either way, the
And
Sixers
Joel-
didn't really miss him as they shot 41% from the three. Joel Embiid having a pretty good game, 22 points. But like you said earlier, Seth Curry, 7 for 10 from the three-point line. That's a good shooting clip. That's like really
that's so
good.
awesome, dude. I just love it. Like, I'd be like me and you going in the NBA. You know what I mean?
Well, who's
And
Steph
just
Curry
not-
in that scenario?
I guess you, because you're the older brother.
Steph older?
But
Yeah.
shoot, I'll be Seth Curry. Seth Curry's still a bucket, you know? But in real
man,
life, in real
right.
life, you know what's going on
Get
though.
out of here with that. You would have picked your poison, and it's not the time.
Oh, you know what's going on.
It's going down for real. Okay, so I think my biggest surprise this season so far are the young teams like the Grizzlies and the Hornets starting so quickly. And like 2-0, maybe 3-0 is a pretty good clip to start. It's nothing crazy. Like they're not going to go 10-0, obviously. But I think it's a big surprise is some of the games that they were able to win and just being ready to start the season. I think that's one of my biggest surprises so far this
The Grizzlies?
season. The young teams that are starting off kind of well, like 2-0, 3-0s. The Bulls
Yeah.
starting off really well. Just
Yeah.
the teams that are hot, maybe either they're new or they're just going, are like, that's a big surprise to me that they're just like ready to rock and roll. And they beat some of these better teams, you know? That's my surprise. Feel free to put yours in the chat. The biggest surprise this year.
Yeah, speaking of favorite players in the Chicago Bulls, like I think Zach LaVine has got to be in my top 3 right now as well. I love it. I think he's on that front end of the Devin Booker stuff where his team was just never good, and so people were like, "Oh, Devin Booker's not a winning player."
Yeah.
Like that's the narrative for Zach LaVine before this year, and he's a bucket. You know, like just because your team isn't good, oftentimes that has to reflect on how people see you as a basketball player.
Yeah.
But Zach LaVine is really that guy. That's like, but a surprise is probably, where's the team? I was just
And as
thinking
you're
about.
looking that up, is Kendrick Nunn playing tonight for the Lakers?
No, I think he's still 2-3 weeks away. I just researched it before.
Really? Because 2K thinks he's ready to go. So
Yeah, how long is Kendrick Nunn out? I Googled and it says 2 to 3 weeks 2 days ago.
dang, that's too bad. Well, all right.
Yeah.
And as you're also looking at that, one of my favorite players who's not my favorite because he's like the greatest, but just because I love him is Alex Caruso. Speaking of the Bulls, just one of those players that I like so much, and just so happy that he's contributing and playing really well. So
Yeah, very, very likable player.
yeah, absolutely. What were you looking up?
The team, I just had a team in mind about surprises.
Huge dunk by John Morant there. You love to see it. Right now he's averaging 32 points per game this season. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 games in, but like you hope that he sustains a high 20s, maybe even 30s. Like LeBron, you did not have to. There's guys
I
that
think
can
my
do it.
I think the biggest surprise for me, I already kind of talked about it, is Davion Mitchell. Just how successful he's been able to be in the games that he's played in. Like, it's not easy to defend the best guards in the world. Like, think like the speed, the quickness, and the strength that the guards in the NBA play with, and to be able to, like, first year in the league, there's usually a learning curve. They usually get eaten up. But he seems to be an automatic lock already.
For the
And
Kings?
tonight, for the Kings, yeah. And I kind of thought that was a bad draft choice, simply because they already had guards. But like, I'm getting proven wrong. So that's
They-
probably,
They wanted to choose best available, right?
I guess so, and it's paying off. Yeah, I didn't think Davion Mitchell was going to be like that in the NBA, but he's 17 points at the half tonight. They're probably in the third quarter right now, but yeah, Davion Mitchell, definitely a big surprise.
All right, end of the second quarter. Lakers take a 1-point lead into the half. NBA 2K knows that this is good. All right, I got to text somebody my meal order. I'm getting Carl's Jr. tonight. How about that?
It sounds good. I had a burrito for lunch. Haven't eaten anything since. I got to think about what I got to eat. But
Yeah, you said you were playing some Rocket League earlier, right?
yeah, playing Rocket League with
All
my
right, we're at the
friends.
halftime show, so let's go back around the league and talk a little bit more about what's happening. The Boston Celtics final score 107-97. A little bit of a surprise is that they are 1-2. I know they had a couple crazy nights, like that super long overtime game against the Knicks was kind of a bummer for them. But and I want some lemonade. Sorry, they're asking me my drink, and I gotta tell them what's up. But
Yeah,
they finally got that win.
Going into the season, the Celtics were one of my like sleeper teams. Like I thought they were going to be a lot better than they're showing to be right now.
Well,
Horford was injured the first 2 games.
But he had
So I
17
think-
tonight. Look at that.
Yeah, he just came back with 17. So I think they're
And
going to be okay.
They're going to be okay. Looking at their like stats breakdown, Tatum took 24 shots, got 31 points, and they shot 31% from the three-point line, while the Rockets shot 43% from the three-point line. That's a tough one for the Rockets to win, just about who they are right now. But you kind of have to wonder what's going on in that locker room. Marcus Smart had 8.
Yeah, Jaylen Brown didn't even play tonight, but
yeah,
and they got the win. Nice.
That's my question. Can Tatum and Brown actually be effective together, or should they make a move? Because they could get someone real nice for Brown.
Yeah, they could get a couple pieces for Brown. Probably Brown is any young team would salivate over Jaylen Brown.
My goodness, man. So that's your bid around the league for the Celtics tonight, as they take that victory here. Memphis taking a 1-point lead over the Lakers into the third quarter. Man, yeah, I don't know. I would hope that the Celtics figure it out, but you just never know. You can't ever be certain if that's the case.
Yeah.
Man, now that I ordered my Carl's Jr., I am real hungry for that burger now. Like, I had some pizza earlier today, and it was good, and I kind of ate it all day. You know how you have leftover pizza and you kind of just munch on it? Well, I was eating it, and I was not feeling hungry. But now that that burger's coming, I'm, like, dying to eat it.
Yeah. Yeah. I get hungry like real quick. I'll be fine. Then all of a sudden it's like, bam, I need to eat something.
Yeah, no, that's true.
But let me see. I guess it's surprising that the Bulls started off as like they really didn't need any time to gel. I think did they win
They
tonight?
won. They did, yeah. We'll talk about them the next time out. We'll put a pin in that. But
Okay.
the other side of my question was, what has not been a surprise? One thing that's not a surprise. I'll say that the thing that hasn't been a surprise is that the Golden State Warriors are good. Like, I kind of like was ready for them to be good. Like, they started out really well. We'll see if their record reflects that at the end of the day. But just, I kind of smelt it out. Like, oh my goodness, Steph's gonna be hungry. The young guy's gonna be hungry, and watch out when they get healthy, because it's gonna be kind of tough.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Anybody who has the best shooter of all time, like Steph is such a cheat code.
You're gonna see
When
it
it comes
coming.
to when it comes to the sport of basketball, it's insane watching Steph. Like it almost feels cliche to talk about him now because it kind of seems like he's just a superhero. With just these abilities no one is ever going to have. Like, it's crazy watching him dribble. His handles are the most underrated part of his game. Like,
Right.
the way he moves with the ball, and he can get to wherever he wants. It's really amazing. So
Yeah.
the Warriors are going to be good for as long as he's in the league.
Talk about a surprise tonight as we take our time out, look around the league. Orlando Magic upsetting the New York Knicks in New York City. Maybe this is a bit of a letdown game for the Knicks. Maybe Orlando just kind of had a good shooting night. But Anthony with 29, Terrence Ross with 22 versus your 30 from Randall. Like, Randall did his most. Derrick Rose had 23 points. What happened in this game? Let's take a look at the stats. I'll tell you one thing. Actually,
Kemba is not playing well. I know that.
he had 10 points. He was 2 for 5 from three-point land. Both teams shooting not well from the three, 27% for both teams. And it turns out that the difference in this game was Magic shot 40% from the field, while New York shot 37. And at the end of the day, sometimes that's really all that you need to separate is a couple shots. 3 more shots made, and you go. New York should have won this game. They put up 100 shots, 100 opportunities, versus Orlando only shot it 88 times. So Orlando just a little bit more efficient with their looks, and they get the win. Good for them.
Well, you saw that in like the playoffs too with the Knicks. That's why they're kind of a scary team to be a fan of. It's because like they're great defensively, right? But I think their offense is so come and go. Like if they're not hitting their shots, like it's they're a team that it seems like it's gonna be hard to get them, hard to create them. Like with the Hawks, you have Trae Young who can create shots for himself and people, right? Like you don't think they're gonna have an issue putting the ball in the hoop, but like the Knicks, if Julius Randle's your first option, he's amazing. But telling him, hey, go give me a bucket is tough in the postseason. Like
and
in the regular.
I love that point. It's also tough when you've got 4 people in the paint looking for you. If you have, like I saw this from the breakdown of the Lakers game. The Suns literally had 5 people surrounding Anthony Davis whenever he touched the ball, and so they got turnovers. That's what you could do to the Knicks, like surround the paint, get bodies in there. He's gonna score, but it's gonna be tough. He's going to be tired. Oh, my goodness. Anthony Davis.
And that's where you hope Evan Fournier can come in and create some shots, right?
Yeah,
like
what did he do tonight? I didn't see him standing out to me at all. Let's see what he did. That's a good point. What happened? He had
like
8 points, 3 for 11, 26 minutes of work. That's not going to get it done. Like
the last Knicks
to me,
game,
that
he
stands
had
out. That stands out.
The last Knicks game, he had 30. And so he's always been that 20-a-game player, but I think it's like the kind of player that's like 30 one night, 10 the next.
Yeah, that's kind of who I was as a player in high school. I would have a big game, 20 plus, and then I would have like 6 or 5, just like the way it works. And that's a shooter for you, right?
Yeah. Yeah, then that's... I mean, the Knicks are going to have to find shots from somebody. Yeah. So hopefully Kemba can find his groove this year. I personally like Emmanuel Quickly. I talked about him, but I just love watching him play.
I feel like the Knicks are a candidate for like a trade that someone doesn't see coming, right? If they get a good piece, they could really make it hard in the East for some of these other teams that are, a little more comfortable with where they are. Specifically, your Bucks, your Nets, your, whoever you want to say has a good chance. Your Sixers, a little bit comfortable. That's what I kind of like about the whole Sixers thing is they're keeping themselves uncomfortable with this Ben Simmons stuff, and maybe it just brings them closer together. That's why I picked them to be my sleeper pick out of the East this year, because they've been comfortable these last couple of years. Expectations are high. They've been slightly uncomfortable every year, right? Losing by a buzzer beater, underperforming in the playoffs, and now they're in a spot where they have to be uncomfortable. And at the end of the day, that's a good spot to be. You don't want to be too comfortable in the NBA. Someone will come for you. Speaking of someone coming for you, as we take our NBA timeout, look around the league, Charlotte noticing, hey guys, we're for real. We're going for a playoff spot. 3-0. Beating the Brooklyn Nets in Brooklyn. My goodness, 111-95. What do you think about that?
I just love the Hornets. They're such a fun team to watch. Their style of basketball. Miles Bridges is one of the most, under the radar, incredible role players that there is in the league.
Speaking of, 32 points tonight. 3 for 5 from 3, and a vicious 360 dunk fast break. Did you see it yet?
And he's knocking down his threes, bro. He really is. Like, he's a shooter now. That's why LaMelo is such a special player, dude. Because LaMelo brings with him like he loves his people, and he gives people confidence because they're like, oh yeah, like we can rock out with this guy, like
Right.
he's not selfish about his aura. He's very like service oriented with the
Feeds the
people around him.
troops. Gotta feed
He
the
feeds
troops.
And not just with the ball, he feeds them with his energy, and that like that kind of player's a huge difference maker.
Yeah, he had 18 points, 1 for 6 from 3, so not his best shooting night, but 5 assists, 5 rebounds. If LaMelo gives you 18, and anyone else on that team, Gordon Hayward, Bridges, Washington, right? Anybody, they got a good roster. Anyone gives you anything close to 30, they're going to win if LaMelo Ball can be consistent, dish out some assists, and go with it.
Like, yeah, he didn't even shoot the ball extraordinarily well. Like 1 for 6 from the 3,
Yeah.
8 for 18. But like the confidence he instills in his teammates, like
This jaw gets a nice dunk. And on the flip side, you've got the Nets. Kevin Durant, 38 points. He's the
Yeah.
Papa dog on that team, 100%.
yeah,
Right? He eats
Yeah.
first. Kevin Durant goes first. Everyone else, James Harden barely 15. Everyone else under 10. They shot 25% from the three-point line.
yeah. That's
versus 33 from the Hornets. Meaning, right, they're going to lose games if they shoot 30 or under. That's just what it looks like right now.
Yeah, they don't have an inside presence, and like that's a small example. It might this might sound like an exaggeration, but like I think basketball in its purest form is that service mentality that Melo brings, right? If you give the ball to KD, say, hey, go give me 40, he'll do it every night, right?
Right.
But it kind of feels like I don't know. It feels like you're not robbing the game, but it's like some people are good enough to do it. Like Kobe, that was his thing, and he did it, and he won with it, right? But I think like if basketball was perfected, I think it would be everybody feeding each other, right? But that's kind of the cool thing in the league. Different teams have different balances, different shooters. Some teams shoot, some teams just better at defense. So
I think
But
you
I
just
think-
made a case for like LeBron being the best player of all time. Like to me, I hear that and I go, why wouldn't LeBron then fit that bill perfectly? Like he could give you 30, but he knows that he'd give you 40. He knows that his team has to get 15. His teammates have to get 20. Like he's
Yeah.
willing to go 40, but he's also actually I can't just get 40. And so that's why I think he might be in that conversation,
yeah,
bringing
it's
himself higher than Jordan in the fact that that was his view of the game was just a little bit more democratic, a little more, as to you said, like that good feel of the game.
Yeah, just feels more pure. It's like it feels like it's how basketball's supposed to be played.
Now,
And like I think
now
think
if you're
that's why-
watching this, right, and
Uh-huh.
then you can go, if you're watching this, we didn't grow up watching Michael Jordan, right? We didn't. Like we're too young. So obviously our mindset's going to be a little bit different, right? We watched like Steve Nash. We watched Kobe is kind of a counterexample, but we've seen all the LeBron teams. We've seen great players share the ball, right? We saw Kevin Durant go to the Warriors and share the ball, right? Steve Kerr's whole philosophy is kind of dominated the last 10 years. And so that's kind of where this argument is coming from.
yeah, that's what I was just about to say. Like that's why the Warriors teams are so good. Is because I think they play basketball the way it's supposed to. It's always just share the ball.
Yep. Speaking of the Warriors, as we take a timeout, close one in Sacramento. They're up 2 points, 90-88, 11 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Make that 91 as somebody just hit something. Steph Curry's got 27, Draymond's 12, and Jordan Poole, man. Talk about a surprise. 16 points tonight. He's going to be trouble for the league if he keeps going on as we get the New Balance player of the game. LeBron James, 12 points. That feels about right. His team up 41-36.
Nice. It wasn't the point guard. I feel nice. But Jordan Poole. I'm not gonna say I saw it coming, but coming out of college, I remember one of my friends was like, "Oh, he's definitely a bucket getter." And so his rookie year, I was watching him, and it was a lot of learning tendencies, right? Just learning how to be in the league.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think he's just one of those players who can just chuck it and make a lot of the shots that he
And
chucks.
he's long and he's athletic, so he's got a lot of things going for him. We got 1 minute left in this game. It looks like the Lakers have a good chance. If Bane knocks this down, we're going to be interesting. It is 40-43 Lakers holding on to this with 50 seconds in the game. This is going to be big for us personally, as this could put us over 10 wins, or it could keep us right there. It looks like it might. We got an and one. Is that a dunk by Anthony there?
And it feels right. I feel like this feels like a reasonable simulation. Lakers 45, Memphis 40.
Yeah, multiply that by 2. We could see
That's pretty much
high 90s game. Lakers maybe going to 100 points.
pretty much what's happening in real life. The Grizzlies are like 1 or 2 possessions behind right now. It seems like the whole game.
Ooh, it's close.
But
I won't spoil it for those of you who are trying to watch, but it is a close game. I'm excited to go watch that. Fast forward through all
Close
the
game.
other stuff.
yeah.
That's why I don't mind doing this, because I can still watch all the action I want, and then I don't have to watch the commercials. It's kind of a perfect scenario.
Yeah.
Grizzlies going to play the foul game.
I just know I'll go on my phone and see a spoiler, like the end score, if I do that. But
Yeah, I prefer like analyzing more so than the entertainment value, because if I watch for entertainment, I get too invested. So I have to turn off that part of my brain and be more analytics with it. I'm not trying to get like angry. Ooh, John Morant. I'm not trying to get too angry at a regular season matchup, or the 0-2 start. At the end of the day, it's just part of the regular season. And the players know that. Like, I get so mad, and then they'll like walk and shake hands, and I'm like, okay, like I guess that's cool to do. And they know it. They're the pros, and I'm a fan, right? So I just have to keep that in mind as I watch, and it helps. It helps.
yeah, yeah. Usually when I watch, I'm kind of that analytic side already, just because I don't know. I've been watching multiple teams more than just the Lakers the past few years because of fantasy.
Right.
So it's like I started viewing basketball kind of through that stats perspective.
That's good. More analytics side, yeah.
But you can't. I mean, when you dive deep into analytics, it also it's got to be that nice balance. That
you still want to root for players as people.
Yes, exactly. So
as we get our final timeout, Lakers are going to hold on to this one. I'm going to put the X on it for the 2K, and then hope the Lakers finally get their first win of the seasons. Any takeaways from tonight as we're wrapping up this? Any takeaways around the NBA as we come to the end of our stream tonight?
Takeaways. I don't think I have any tonight. I don't. I think
I mean, my takeaways are watch out for the Hornets. My takeaways are the NBA 2K simulation is so far kept us above 500. We are sitting at a 632 average for wins versus losses, which I kind of think is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean that's decent. I guess it makes sense because you are gonna have outlier wins, right, in the league, where a team shows up like tonight, the Magic versus who they play, the Knicks, right?
Yeah.
They'll just show up. That's gonna be a hard game to simulate,
Right.
because these are professionals. So I mean, 60 sounds.
Sounds pretty good.
I mean, it sounds like if you were to
Flip a coin.
like just do it yourself. Like just say, okay, who do I think is
You'd
going to win
be
this
50
game?
or less. Oh, interesting. Maybe we should maybe we should do that as well. Our plus minus hero tonight is Anthony Davis, playing a solid game, 7 points, 3 rebounds. And then for the Grizzlies, the plus minus, I'll say not hero is Melton, D'Anthony Melton with a -7. He almost had that kind of a game that we never got to talk about from the Lakers player. Do you see this? Who had it? Avery Bradley, and kind of had the same exact stat: 0 points, 0 rebounds, 0 assists, 0 steals, 0 blocks in 28 minutes. That's bad.
Really?
Yeah, that's bad. That you gotta know that's bad. All right. Well, whoops. We'll go back to just us. That's all that we have for our stream today. Thank you so much. Follow us on Jay Talking Buckets on Twitter, and bring your friends to talk. We just want to talk basketball. We want to talk some hoops. Thanks for watching. Thanks for following. Shout out to LX and his Grizzlies. I hope you guys lose today. In all due respect, I'll help the Lakers finally get their first win of the season. But keep talking buckets, everybody.
Yes, sir. As always, I'll catch you guys as the flipper flies. See you tomorrow?
We'll see you tomorrow, 7:30, for our next round of NBA action.
Yes, sir. Go Lakers.